hero's journey. This is a character who, his journey was set for him when he was a child, and he underwent all these terrible things. Talk about the physics of that.
Yeah, I mean, the classic hero's journey that Joseph Campbell talked about started with a person living in the ordinary world, and they're sort of plucked out to this extraordinary thing. Dexter starts from an opposite place. He is born, he has his own birth, not into the human condition, but into this weird thing where he's witnessed his mother's death, and it's left him with this profound thing that he kind of has to work through. So he starts as this really classic anti-hero, just totally removed from society, and the code certainly makes it possible for us to watch this, but the really touching thing about him is that he keeps trying to claw his way back and establish human connections, even though that was the furthest thing from his starting place.
Now we have some more videos to watch. Nurse Jackie made Showtime history when it was nominated for 8 Primetime Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Lead Actress. Let's take a look at some footage from Nurse Jackie. Together all those images and putting together stories that kind of explored the darker side of it.
Yes, and by the way, I'm done having my stroke, so I'm coherent. Yeah, it's a blast to. You know, we wanted to make a show that was fun to watch with the kids. Kidding. No, you know, the addiction part of it, you know, it's just fun to see somebody like Edie Falco play that, you know, and so we get to come up with stories and put her in corners and catch her in lies that are really fun to watch her get her way out of. So season 3 is going to be fun because she is trapped a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited. Please watch. Because we're the new kids, so please watch.
We have some more footage. It's been a wild ride from desperate pot-selling suburban widow to cartel concubine and politician's wife. Let's take a look at Louise. Mary-Louise, it must be fun to have all these new identities to step into. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it ended up only being one new identity ultimately, but it was really fun. And Victoria really wrote, I think, a lot of the best stuff this year, and really in that episode really brought a lot of that in.
And Victoria, can you talk about sort of the Botwins are a fascinating family, and the physics of that family are pretty great to watch, especially as the sons grow older. Talk a little bit about that and the cast. I mean, it's a pretty phenomenal ensemble.
Well, we've seen Alexander, who plays Shane, go from being a very young boy, clutching his mother, to a killer. And so she, as we say, she homeschooled him, and he learned all the wrong lessons. So that's been his path. Silas's path has been different, and he's finding his own moral center now. So he's grown up.
It's fantastic to watch. And we have one more video clip. You can't have it all. That was Harry's warning to Dexter, and he was right. Here we go, Dexter. That's some pretty powerful stuff. Michael, you know, I mean, when we first met this character, part of the bundle of things that we learned about him was that he was incapable of feeling. It seems now we're seeing him deal with emotions that are breaking through and maybe potentially might explode out. For you, can you talk about that, what that is like as an actor to have that range to deal with?
Well, I don't think we were ever meant to take Dexter at his word, you know. I think he, I don't know, he's been thrust into situations which have required him to deal with things that he never anticipated. But even at the beginning, when Dexter claims to be without the capacity for authentic human emotion, I think we're meant to be skeptical, and we're meant to sort of root for him to discover that maybe that's not entirely true, and I think he's certainly in a territory now where he's discovered that. And yet a fundamental disconnect remains. I mean, his ability to justify his behavior to himself is pretty impressive. He has grown in terms of his experience of himself in ways that are undeniably human, and yet does maintain some sort of internal conception of things that allows him to continue to kill people. Otherwise, I mean, really, would anyone watch it? No, it's the character initially, and just the pilot script was so much fun, and there was so much complexity there, but I mean, it just continues to get richer, and that's a testament to, first and foremost, the writing, and Chip came on board and took it upon himself to take responsibility for the mess that we'd made and write that first. I mean, it's like Obama stepping in to the White House or something, but sort of. Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to what we're given, as actors, and the writers on this show have been amazing in terms of finding ways to continue to challenge us.
I have a question for Chip, but I also want to let you guys know we're going to open it up for audience questions now. So if you come up, please no proposals, no declarations of self, no threats, no pitches. Please have things that end in a question mark. Chip, Dexter put together this family, an unlikely family, and now that's been blown up. Talk about moving forward. A guy that was looking to be part of something now finds himself with some solitary responsibilities.
Yeah, it didn't just blow up, he blew it up. So I think in that sense it's kind of relatable that, your own weaknesses kind of come to bear on you and the people around you, and that you've melted down everything in a kind of cosmic and profound way. His son is now possibly in the same condition that he found himself when he was young, and he's, for the first time, is really an adult responsible for somebody in the same way that Harry took charge of him. So he's trying to pick up the pieces, and at the same time, he really just doesn't want to do this anymore. He's kind of reached out to humanity, and it's really not gone very well.
All right, do we have someone with a microphone and the questions? Hey.
My question is for David. Why did you choose to do Twin Peaks?
Wow. Well, that was a point in my career where I didn't have a choice. That was, I was just actually trying for any job that I could get, and I just happened to get one where I wear pantyhose. It was really a great, just a lark to, I think the actor who was supposed to do it dropped out a week before, and they opened it up to whoever wanted to come in or whoever could get in. And next thing I knew, I was narrowing my legs down, which of course I have continued to do to this day.
My question's for Michael. Thanks for making a serial killer that I love, and the voiceovers that you do while Dexter's preparing to murder somebody or playing with the kids are really rich. Do you watch the clips as you're doing the voiceovers so perfectly?
Yeah, I record sort of a scratch track in my trailer that the editors use for the rough cut of the show, and then when I go in for a final ADR session to clean up any